Hey, all you sapphic teens. Come on. That's a good one.
Oh, my
That's
God.
a good one. It's your host. It's one of your hosts, Larry Saperstein. I got the note, and I'm taking the note. It's one of your hosts, Larry Saperstein, joined today, as always, by one of your other hosts, Jacob Bellotti.
Here I am, live and in color.
And welcome to
Let's Talk About That.
All systems are a go.
Talking database activated.
Begin in 3, 2, 1.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about what? Let's talk about who? Let's talk about me. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about that.
Girl, I cannot believe we are talking about that.
Wait, what are we talking about?
Let's talk about that.
Oh, my goodness. Today is a silly day on the pod.
It's a silly day. We're getting gay.
We're getting gay
We're getting
today.
lesbian on
Yes.
the pod. I love it.
For the record, we'll say this multiple times in the interview, but I will say it again right now. Everybody has been asking for this guest.
She is our most requested guest, like hands down our most requested guest.
Yeah. But before we get to that, let's talk about us.
Let's talk about us.
Girl, I have been so tired.
I know. You got the tired bug.
I am in pre-production on a brand new show that I cannot disclose yet, but let me tell you, I am working long hours.
I know.
And getting this show ready to film.
And last week we had the pre-birthday episode, and this is in many ways it's the post-birthday episode.
That's right.
And I will say the birthday weekend knocked me on my booty. I was tired.
I think I did a great job.
You did a great job.
Yeah.
At what exactly?
Carrying you through your birthday.
Carrying me through my birthday, yes. The birthday that I went shopping for. I bought all the decorations. I did most of the planning.
And those are very nice shoes you're wearing.
Very nice shoes that you got for me. Look, I'm not saying you did nothing. I'm not even saying that I asked you to do that stuff because I didn't, and I was happy to do it for my own birthday. But I'm just saying I deserve some credit.
Well, somebody's got to pay the bills here, honey, and I'm the one who took on that responsibility.
The breadwinner.
Yes.
The breadwinner.
Okay. Well,
The
our guest
Oscar
today.
winner.
Our guest today is fabulous. She is so bubbly, and we just cannot wait to welcome her to the pod. She starred in the hit Disney Plus show High School Musical, the series,
Absolutely.
as Maddox.
Hello.
She was in a CW show.
Yes.
With
Jared Padalecki.
Yes, with Jared Padalecki. She was on Mom with Allison Janney.
Come on, Mom. And she was on a episode of New Girl with Miss Olivia Rodrigo.
That's right. That's
Isn't
right.
That fierce.
And she is such a talent, such a joy. Please welcome to the podcast, Saylor Curda. Right after this. Saylor!
Guys!
She's here. Saylor, do you want to know something?
I do want to know something.
I think you are probably our number one most requested guest.
Wait,
This
really?
is true.
Yes.
Every time we post an
Stop
episode, they say
it.
the comments are "Get Saylor, please
Especially
get
if
Saylor."
it's like we've had other people from High School Musical,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
But anytime one of those clips goes on social media, so many comments. Can you please have Saylor on? Please have Saylor Curda. So you're welcome.
You're welcome.
I'm blushing. I'm
Tell
like
the fans
actually.
you're welcome.
You know what? Yeah, you guys are welcome.
What's that?
I feel great. I feel honored. I mean, that was a way to start an episode. I feel great.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Well, we do the insulting later, so we
Yeah.
come
Oh, and I can't wait.
Right, we come in strong with like
Yes.
compliments, and then we'll just
That comes
bring
after
you
the
down
break.
as we keep going.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So wait, you said this was your first podcast
This is
ever?
my first podcast ever.
That's
My
amazing.
God.
Yeah, you guys are taking my podcast virginity.
Oh,
Oh.
Ooh.
well.
Okay, we got to think of a way to get her throughout as we're going through this. We gotta think of some questions that'll really get her on the spot. Yeah.
Are you trying to get me canceled?
Yeah.
I feel like I
Guys,
did
it
some
won't be that hard. I'm
podcasts
really
with like
unfiltered.
season 1 press of High School Musical. Was,
Yeah,
like, the
that makes
first time
sense.
I ever did. You didn't do any podcasts with like for press?
No, like every press that we did, at least for seasons 3 and 4, were all
Virtual.
over Zoom, all virtual.
Yeah.
Other than season 4, they did stuff with like, you know, the Fab 5 or the Fab 4.
Right,
like,
but then it was the strike.
yes, and then it was the
That-
strike. Yes,
we were
yes,
supposed
yes.
to do like a big thing for season
We were gonna
4
go to
with
Disneyland and
Yeah.
do a press day.
a
I
whole
forgot.
thing with like everyone.
Oh, that was going to
But
be so fun.
They knew the strike was coming, and so they only had enough time to get like the 5 of them on a Zoom or whatever to do like one day of press, and that was it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I bet that was chaotic for them. I
Yeah,
can't
crazy.
imagine. Holy cow.
What was your experience like with High School Musical? I want to know.
I mean, High School Musical was like the most magical show to like really just like grow so much in, more than I have in
Yeah.
another show, you know, like I was there for, you know, 2 whole seasons, and like, you know, getting to know everybody over that timeline and being Maddox was something really so special. I think I don't realize how like lost I get in every character I play. Like,
Yeah.
all I ever feel is like I want to be them so bad, and Maddox was the easiest thing for me to do ever in my life. And I don't even realize that I do that until I like get an audition for something that's like the complete opposite of me, and I'm like,
Oh,
oh
yeah.
I forgot how to act. I don't know how to do it anymore, guys. Sorry, like I
Yeah.
can't. But like the ones that I play when I'm just like literally just a slightly different version of myself, I always have the best time.
That was one of the features of High School Musical that I think like really made the show sing. And we've actually said this before on the podcast with, you know, probably some other High School Musical guests. Like, I feel like everybody was pretty close to their character.
I absolutely agree.
And if they weren't, like for example, when we started the show, Big Red was not super close to me, but throughout the show and like throughout the writing of the show, the character became more and more like me, and I think that's true for everybody on the show.
Or
That
did
is- that is
you
absolutely.
become more like the character?
I
Ooh.
don't think that when they initially created the character of Big Red that they thought he was going to be bisexual.
I'm sure they
Yeah.
I mean,
Fair.
they almost throughout the whole series like had so many different sources of like how do I
Queerness.
put it?
Yeah.
Like just queerness. Like it became more queer as it went on, which
Yes.
honestly, inherently for a cast like us, became more us.
Yeah,
because
no,
all of us
truly.
are just these like queer, like nerdy theater kids who are like just like actually living out a dream of like I get to sing out of nowhere right now and no one's gonna judge me. Like that's so
Yeah.
cool. But I agree with you. So heavy on like when I think about season 1 and 2 and I'm like watching like for example like Dara or Julia, any of you guys really, and I think about when I was in like I joined for season 3 and 4, I already felt like you guys were your characters. I was like, if there is any season that you guys are really sinking your teeth into like your characters, it was that one. I felt like Dara was becoming Dara.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like was getting to show so much of herself that is like the most beautiful parts that all of us obviously know, but that everybody else got to see at that point. And that's just so awesome to me. Same with like, I think, you know, Frankie and Joe. I just think everyone had such a great build with their character.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think a lot of us, because we were so young when we started, you know, and for everyone, it was like their first show, you know, except for like Sophia, who had done Andy Mack, and Olivia,
Yeah.
who had done Bizarre Bark. Like it was everyone's like first big thing. And I think this is true of everyone. We all kind of like gained a lot of confidence like throughout the run of the show.
Yeah.
But that's also part of like we were growing up and we were just becoming adults.
Yeah.
And I also think that was like reflected in the writing of the characters. So like you got to see like you said, like Courtney gaining confidence and becoming, you know, an adult, but then also at the same time, like that was happening in Dara's real life
Yeah.
as well, you know?
Yeah.
And so I think that like shined through. And it was fun to see like you and Adrian and Liamani as well.
Money,
like
my little baby Money.
I know.
Oh my God, Can we talk about Descendants, please?
Oh my
No,
god!
Because
Yes.
I am obsessed. Has me on my hands and knees.
I
The
can't
fact that they are
wait.
working together again
Yeah.
brings so much joy to my soul. It's amazing because I even remember during High School Musical season 4, we would like sit in the classroom, just waiting until like we were doing a scene, and I would watch Monty and Kylie like interact with each other, and I would just be like, you guys were meant to be besties. You guys were meant to be like just like these cutie patooties who work on this show together. And they were also the only ones in school for I think that
Yeah.
whole season. Like they really bonded with each other. And I would see their little TikToks and I'd be like, oh, like they're just both the cutest, individually the cutest and most talented, amazing, unique girls
And now
ever.
they're doing it.
And
Well,
they're back together
Descendants
again.
vibe.
We have such a history with Descendants on this podcast. Let me
yes.
tell you. Because first of all, we've had Kylie on, and
You've had Kylie on?
she came on. She came on the week Descendants came out. Rise of Red came out.
Oh, shut up. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
say
we're
whatever
talking
you
about
Shit.
You can say whatever you want. You can say whatever you
Oh,
want.
shush. Go on.
But like almost every guest has wanted to talk about Descendants in some
That's
capacity.
so funny.
Yes.
Like even guests who have no association with Disney. So like we had Marsha from RuPaul's Drag Race on, and she's like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god, can we talk about Descendants?
about
Like,
Descendants?
can we talk about how amazing that was?" Which is hilarious. And
People
of
got it
course,
right, man.
you love Descendants, right? We
mean,
love Descendants.
Big
you were
fan,
at the
guys.
premiere last year.
Did we see you
right?
there?
I was not at the premiere,
Oh.
unfortunately. I was out of town, but best believe I was sitting in my
were sad.
bed,
Yeah.
opening my TV, like ready to watch.
You were
the
setting it
next
off,
one.
go berserk,
I was just,
light it up like
already-
firework.
I was honestly mentally preparing myself the whole time for Dara. I was
Yes!
like,
I mean,
I
that
knew
was
she
a
was
fierce
gonna
performance.
eat up the entire thing, and I was so psyched about it. And lo and behold, guys,
was a
no
fierce
one could have been
performance.
disappointed.
I
ever.
know.
Oh, I'm not your everyday villain. I'm taking souls for a living.
I'm not your everyday living.
Like, yeah, I was on the floor.
Were you like a Disney fan before doing, High School Musical and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Like, it was kind of
Your older sister was on a Disney
exactly
show.
like it was so inherent because Piper was doing my sister Piper. If you've never heard of her, Piper
Yeah.
Curda, who like took over Disney
Major.
Channel for a little while. I was so involved in it, just like I watched everything that she did. Like I ran into Austin North the other day, who was Piper's coworker in I Didn't Do It.
Yeah.
And and what were we doing? We were like playing a game of frisbee, and he was running to get the thing, and I was like, oh my gosh, that reminds me of the episode of I Didn't Do It where like your character can't run and Piper's being Jasmine and you're being all goofy, and he just was there like, I don't remember any of that. Like that was so long ago. And I was like, and that's when I realized I was like, I just forgot that my entire childhood I was my sister's biggest fan. Like I watched all that shit religiously.
Now, but about you, do you remember everything you did on Disney? Like, do you remember all of it?
Oh my gosh. You know what's funny when I think about it? I do owe so much of, my life and career to Disney, but I was always doing the guest star roles and appearances and recurring stuff on Nick. It was always Nick.
Oh, okay.
I did Henry Danger recurring.
Yeah.
I did Thundermans. I did like a bunch of shows, like Sydney to the Max, like
Yeah.
just like random little things where I always popped up. And Disney was way more I think all I've ever done for Disney is High School Musical.
Okay.
And I played Piper's younger version of her character on I Didn't Do It when I
That
was
is
a
fun.
tiny little baby with like no little brain, but I just was like, ooh, like they're gonna audition me to be my sister but tiny.
Well-
and they dyed my hair, and sure enough, I was right there. I was right in it.
I mean, you were a shoo-in. I mean, this is okay. So this
I
is
still auditioned though. Isn't that crazy?
that is crazy. Well, this is kind of like lore because I don't know if like the world knows this, but like the Curda family really is an influential acting family. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think people know this, but I have known your brother.
Oh my
Caesar,
God. Yes.
Since I was probably 10 years old.
I forgot about
so
that.
then, like, I always knew what was going on. And Piper, too. Like, I remember being in the audition rooms, like, with her. Because Piper is maybe a little older than me, or maybe exactly my same age. I'm not totally
yeah,
sure.
actually, she's turning 27 this year. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
we're the same age.
age.
So I remember being in like audition rooms for like, oh my god, I remember there was this 101 Dalmatians musical.
Wait,
right?
Yes, Piper did that
And
musical.
She did that. And I remember
Yes.
I remember being there all day, and I didn't wind up booking it, but I was like there all day at the auditions.
Yeah.
Like, and Major too, I knew Major just from like auditioning. Major and I auditioned for Billy Elliot together, just all the Broadway shows. Like,
Yeah.
And then when I went to see The Little Mermaid on Broadway
Oh my god.
earlier that morning, I had an acting class with this man named Lane Napper, who lived in New York City and was like an acting coach. And Major and I believe also Piper were in the class with me. And I think our parents were like having a conversation. I was like, what are you guys doing later? And we had tickets to see The Little Mermaid. And Major played Flounder in The Little Mermaid on Broadway. And he was in the show that night. So I was like in acting class with Major that morning. Then that night went to see The Little Mermaid on Broadway.
Oh my gosh.
Starring your brother, Major. And then
At
we went.
Major.
I know. And then we like went backstage and like hung out with him after.
That is so funny. I remember going backstage to The Little Mermaid when we had seen him once and just thinking it was so cool to like see everyone just like casual, like King Triton walking by,
Yes.
just in his
Yeah.
like glittered bodied, like,
And
I'm just like, that's like, what are you doing here? Like, shouldn't you be swimming in the sea? I'm so confused. Because I was such a baby. Like, that was such a different time for me. Like, Major was a fully conscious working kid, and I was, he's what, 25 or 26 now, and I'm, 21, and it's just that
Yeah.
tiny little few years that I don't really recall
Right,
what
makes
was
a
going on
difference.
there.
But like also when Major was in the show, Drew Seeley was
Yes,
playing
Drew
the
Seeley.
prince. And Drew Seeley is like, do you know who Drew Seeley is?
King royalty.
Drew Seeley is like
Come on, Drew Seeley was the voice of Troy Bolton, of Zac Efron, his musical
Oh,
voice
okay.
in the first
In
High
the-
School Musical movie.
Okay.
He
He was
like-
in another Cinderella story with
Yes.
Selena Gomez.
He was in one of the Cheetah Girls movies,
Of
right?
course he
or
was.
He did, I don't know if maybe he wasn't in the movie, but he had that song in the Cheetah Girls too. Like he was
What a
kind
king.
of, the
voice.
like yeah. I don't.
He was
really,
like the silent representation.
Yes, like
Okay.
he's kind of
Of
the one
Disney
who
of that time.
he never got to like have his full-on moment,
Mm-hmm.
but he was really talented, and so they would use him a lot, but he never got to like really have that like full moment. But he did
Yeah.
play the prince in
Yeah.
Cinderella on not Cinderella, in The Little Mermaid on Broadway.
Yeah. That's so awesome.
But I do remember, I loved that show. I loved that
I was
musical.
obsessed.
I thought Major was amazing.
If Only is still like the greatest
yes, the
quartet I've
quartet.
ever heard in musical theater, period.
Yeah.
I love that quartet. That though, and I Do from it's the new one is I Do from Shucked, really making its way up there.
Wait,
Because that quartet is magical.
I don't remember that. I saw Shucks, but I don't remember
that's
that
how
one.
you say, hey, that's how you say I do. When they're like
Why
trying
don't I
to.
remember that song? Is that
Because you're
So
old,
good.
Larry. You
I
can't
know.
remember things.
because
My
I saw it
God.
2
I
years
saw
ago
Shuck
and-
like 3 times when it was on Broadway for like
Work.
the way
the
too
way
little
short
amount of
I
time
know.
that
I gotta,
it was.
I gotta
Oh,
listen.
yeah.
I gotta listen to the cast
so
album.
good, so good.
But then I just remember being like, well, okay, so here's the other thing. So this is the other Sailor lore that I'll share for the world. And I'm telling all your secrets.
Uh-huh.
So when you were cast in season 3 of High School Musical, the series, you were not using your like last name, Saylor Curda. You were using your middle name, Sailor Bell.
yeah.
So I was like, who's Sailor Bell? I don't know. But then
Who's she?
when I met you, your brother, we met at the premiere of Better Nate Than Ever.
Oh my
We
God.
did?
That's where we met.
No way.
Yeah. And so your brother. You took
And I brought my
Major.
brother.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I recognized Major, and I was like, oh my God, you're Major Curda. I remember you. And then you were his sister that was in the show. And I was
That's
like,
so
wait,
funny.
oh my God, you're Saylor Curda? Like your last name is
So
Curda?
funny. Yeah,
And
Belle's a stage
so,
name.
you know, it's real
That is
Curda
so
lore
funny.
in my life.
There's definitely some, it's so silly, like some weird power to like just being like, yeah, I'm a Curda. Because sometimes people like, because my siblings are who my siblings are, like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I just, you know, there is so much to being like, oh, and if I'm in an audition room, say before the pandemic, when we were always in audition rooms, I would be in there and I'd be like, okay, do your slate. I'm Saylor Bell. I'm, I don't know, 12, like I'm, you know, 5 foot, and and my name is Saylor Curda, and they'd be like, Curda, like Piper Curda, like Major Curda, like the Curda sibling, like the Curda clan, and I'm like, it's like, who are you?
That's
yes,
crazy.
like those people.
Well, also, not Nepo. Not Nepo.
No,
You're not Nepo
both my
babies.
parents are professors. Have never touched any type of industry when it comes to entertainment.
Wait,
like-
so what's your connection to Chicago? We were talking about this before we started recording.
Yeah,
What's
well,
the Chicago?
Chicago is where I was raised. I was born in Florida, but raised in Chicago, and I had my whole childhood there, all my first memories. But moving to like New York and then LA was very much for, you know, working purposes, because my siblings already knew what they wanted to be doing, and I was kind of like, I'll do it with you, why not? I don't know what this is, but it
Yeah.
seems fun. And you know, thank God we all, you know, really continued to love it for as much time as we did, and or, you know, forever in my case.
Yeah.
Wait, and
There's
how many Curda siblings are there?
5 of us, baby. There's 5.
Wow.
I'm the
5.
youngest
There's-
of all of them.
You're the youngest?
Yeah.
You're the
I'm
baby.
Why did I think that Gloria
tiny
was
Glory's, everyone thinks,
younger.
Everyone does think that Glory's the youngest, but I'm the youngest. She's older
Wow.
than me by
Okay.
a little bit.
And then who's the oldest?
Riley,
Okay.
who I'm not sure you've ever met,
don't think
but
I've
my
ever
oldest
met
sister Riley, she's 29. She just turned 29, I think.
Work.
Yeah. And she's the coolest fucking gay librarian at her
That's
at, like,
amazing.
an elementary
Librarian?
school in Boston.
I love a gay librarian.
Yeah, she's living quite honestly.
yeah,
my
I love
dream.
that.
It's kind of dope. It's kind of awesome.
Well, speaking of gay, I do want to ask you one serious question
Do
on this
it.
podcast about your time in High School Musical.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if maybe you're aware of this, maybe you're not, but like to play a lesbian or bisexual role in a teen oriented show is exceptionally rare. Like that really does not happen very often.
Mm-hmm.
And you were, dare say, one of the first, because it came out before Heartstopper, right?
Yeah.
It's
Oh
before
my God, yeah.
Yeah.
all that. And that was like kind of a new thing. Like, what was that experience like for you?
I mean, I don't take it for granted.
Yeah.
Like, I feel so lucky and blessed to have been like given the opportunity to be able to represent something as important as that. Like, and I didn't even know that's what I was going to be doing, but honestly, like, I feel so much in my heart that like Maddox would have, everyone just always would have known what Maddox was going to be, like, no matter what. And I did love how she just like was so, you know, kind of just like really awkward and didn't know how to talk much, but like was so free and open about certain aspects of her life, which I think is just like a really important thing to have in the first place. And I've felt like insanely lucky to even just have like fans of the show come up to me and be like, you really did something for me, or like you
Yeah.
representing what you did, like I've had so many people tell me like that, like I've helped them come out to their parents, or like helped them through whatever stage that they thought they were just like too weird or too gay or too awkward to be a part of like any real socialization. But like I like sit so much in that. I hold that so close to my heart, because being actually something so important and so representing to people who just like straight up don't have that a lot of
Yeah.
the time, especially for media like Disney, where it's more accessible for like younger kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I just could never explain how just like how much it just touches my heart that I still get to like be able to do that for people.
And that's incredible. Like, I mean, we talk a lot on the podcast about like, you know, when we were growing up, like there really wasn't anything, you know, like there was none of the Heartstoppers, none of the high school musicals, none of that. And it's like the only gay show that was on like when we were like growing up was RuPaul's Drag Race, and like and that's a competition show. That's not, you know, there's no like scripted stories of like hope and stuff, and so
it's not children's TV.
And it's not children's TV.
There was no children's TV that was gay,
right? And so I always think about like the kids now getting this media is so different, and having that confidence, getting that confidence from it is such an important thing, and you're such a major part of that.
And something I also really loved about Maddox specifically was like when I was in high school, like there was that girl who was the stage manager of the show, and she was a lesbian, you know what I mean? And she was probably like the only lesbian that I knew, like in all of my high school. And she was like very involved in the theater, like, you know, group, the drama club, whatever you want to call it. But she was like never a performer in the shows.
Yeah.
And like that was something that we started the show with, like where Courtney was, you know, doing the costumes and Big Red was doing the lighting. But then it kind of like changed. And I love that they brought that back into the show with like someone who really is like true to, you know, I also went to college for technical theater, and there are all these like queer, you know, lesbian, whatever, stage managers and lighting designers, and like it was representation on multiple fronts, because it wasn't just like performer representation. It was also those people that are in their high school drama clubs could really, really feel seen and be like, that is exactly who I am.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
yes.
Like on all aspects of that. Maybe I didn't date JoJo Siwa, but that is exactly who I am.
That's what every lesbian 17-year-old is thinking
You're really
when they
living
watch
the
me.
dream.
I
You
was.
dated, you know, on
my
TV.
my ex JoJo Siwa, you mean?
What
What was her character name? Madison?
Yes, Madison, because we were Mad and Mad are bad. That was one line. Mad and Mad are
do you know
bad.
how many teenage lesbians wish they could have fake dated JoJo Siwa on TV? And that is living the dream.
You better watch out, because karma's
honestly,
a bitch. Okay.
I'm scared.
I should have known
scared.
better.
If I'd have wished. Guys, I've been listening. I've been keeping up. Don't worry. Wait, I feel like I was gonna say something back to you about.
You were gonna say something like really important and deep, and then we spiraled
I was
into
gonna have
karma.
my moment and be like, guys, I'm gonna say some inspiring shit.
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah. Also, Julia. Like Julia Lester.
Also,
Hello.
guys,
There's a lot of
that
gay
is.
people
I'm
that
sorry.
wish they dated Julia
That
Lester
is exactly where everyone, can sit on their hands and knees and beg and cry about the fact that they didn't get to do that, because guys, you missed out. Everyone else.
What do they call it?
You didn't miss out, did you?
That's right.
Well, what do
That's
they call it when
right.
two people? What is it when like two people like dated the same person? What do they call that?
Eskimo siblings.
Is that what we
the
are?
term?
Then
Is
maybe
that
that's an
what we
outdated
are?
term.
Maybe it's
Three
outdated.
redheads being Eskimo. That's crazy. Not you, me, and Julia, the only redheads in the show. That's so silly.
Not us both having kissed Julia Lester on camera.
We'll be right back with Saylor
Whose was
Curda right
better?
after
Whose
this.
was better?
And we're back.
Yes. I mean, you know, I was a little sad that Big Red and Ashlyn had to break up, but I guess it was for the best, right?
I just have to. I mean,
Listen.
how could you not? Guys, I'm sorry. I'm such a Madlyn shipper. I'm such a
of course you
Madlyn
are.
shipper.
Of course
Yeah,
you are.
and that's really fair. Low-key, something really funny and magical to me about Big Red and Antoine at the
I
end
know.
of season
I wish
4
we
there.
got a little bit more time.
It was
to
just funny.
explore that.
It was a beautiful little cherry on top of
Yes.
you know, the soft end and
Next time we do another season of High School Musical, when they decide to greenlight
next time when we do another season,
when they decide
guys, next year when they totally bring us back from the
Yeah.
dead.
it's gonna greenlight it because they
we're pulling that, by the way, just for the social clips. Like you just confirmed.
Guys,
we're coming back.
did you not know about season 5 of High School Musical, the musical, the series?
It's coming.
It's coming.
Because it's literally
we're
on its way.
self-producing it.
Next summer, we're releasing the next 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Did you guys
Oh my
not know
God,
that?
Wouldn't that be crazy if like
It was all
actually-
pre-shot
We've
like
been
2 years ago.
We said the show was over, right? But then we've been secretly recording more.
Ashley Tisdale, come on out!
Hey, Ashley!
That's crazy.
No, that's funny. But I
If
would
you
say
could have had anyone from like every little strand branch of High School Musical, and I know we had so many on the show,
Yeah.
but anyone that we didn't have, who would it have been?
I mean, you mean on Let's Talk About That podcast?
Oh, no. Sorry.
No,
Sorry.
on High School Musical, the series.
in the High School Musical franchise.
Well, we didn't get Zac Efron.
Well, sure, but
And
is that who you wanted the most?
Did you have Ashley?
We did not get.
That's
Ashley.
what I'm saying.
that's the one.
I guess-
I
Ashley
think if I
Tisdale.
really had to, it would be Ashley.
Yes.
The 3 people we didn't get were
Sh-
Zach, Vanessa, and Ashley.
Yeah. And
so
she
the
was
3
like,
stars.
Yeah.
like, guys, she was actually my personal growing up queen of Disney. Like, she was
She was?
Candace. She was.
Oh my
She was High
God.
School Musical, and she was Sweet Life. I mean,
Yes.
just the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Yeah.
Like,
What was the name? It was Maddie something or
Maddie, yeah.
Yeah.
Maddie, yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, I could only remember if I said it in a Tipton. I was like, Maddie. In another life,
Yeah.
I would have the natural energy and charisma to be some type of London Tipton.
Oh, you could do.
Do you think I could?
I mean, it's not
You could do
really
it now.
Like, it's not really like you, but you're just a great actress, and I know that you could do it. I mean, it's
Oh,
same like
stop
Brenda
it.
Song. I feel like you and Brenda Song probably are kind of similar, like energy. Like when I see interviews of Brenda Song, I'm like, I could see you guys being a little similar, and I feel like you
Stop
could do
it.
it, no problem.
That's the biggest compliment
but
I've
like,
ever received.
but that's
I
the thing.
love
Like
her.
Brenda Song is very different than London
She's
Tipton.
so yeah.
Like that was a
She's so fluid, she's
character
so good.
choice.
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
is like fierce, honestly.
Oh,
No,
she's-
you're so right.
She's the best. Brenda, we love you.
Brenda,
Brenda.
we love you.
Brenda adopt.
Did
me.
you have like a favorite Disney Channel show then? Besides the ones that your sister was in, I guess.
No, you're right to say that because it definitely was. Those were my favorites. Let's see. I was always like such a big fan of like Shake It Up and like just like those ones from that
Zendaya.
era. Wizards,
That- yeah.
like
Zendaya.
Well,
I've also,
Wizards.
I mean, of course, I've seen all of Hannah Montana through like probably
Yes.
more than once.
And now you probably have arguably the closest relationship with Jason out of all of us.
That is so
crazy?
funny.
It's really beautiful. Jason is my best buddy. He is.
You guys
more
rolled
like a
up to
brother
the party
me.
together.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jason, I bring
Rolled
Jason
up
with
to my
me
birthday
everywhere.
party.
Jason, like we go play pickleball together. Like I don't play
my
pickleball unless he's
gosh.
coming to play with me. Like Jason and I spend so much of our time together, and I love him more than anybody. And Katie is just like
Yeah.
How
as
did
you guys
how
also
did
know.
that like form? Because Jason was an amazing podcast guest, by the way. He
bet he
was like so
was.
great,
I can't
and
imagine.
and he was like hyping up the podcast the other day when we were trying to convince you to come on the podcast.
Well, I knew he would be straight with me. That's why I looked him dead in the eyes and I was like, "Do you think I'd be good on a podcast?"
And
And,
he's-
and when he looked at me like, I was like, I can't, guys.
But what he
Sorry.
actually said was, no, you'd be terrible.
Yeah, he did. Yes. No, you'd be
Dead
terrible.
wrong.
Yeah.
I
You'd
think he was
be
kidding.
terrible. It's you think he's kidding?
I think he was.
It's our
kidding.
It's our form of love.
Okay,
Yeah,
wait.
yeah,
So
yeah.
now I'm also seeing, now that you just mentioned pickleball, I'm seeing the connection to Cosette now and why you're friends with Cosette. Yes,
exactly. Yes.
We love
And
Cosette, another friend of the pod.
She's
Another friend of the pod.
Oh, just an angel put right onto this planet, like
Oh, yeah.
handpicked from whatever beautiful garden humans are picked from, and put to here. It was her. She was the star.
Cosette
Yes.
single-handedly has like saved every single event that we are at with her.
She is
She
unbelievable.
can do everything.
She literally, like, at my birthday was the person who cut my birthday cake and served it out to every. We didn't ask her to do any of this.
She
by the
brought
way.
a
She did.
badminton
She brought
net.
a full
So
badminton
awesome.
set.
She did the group
She helped
photo.
with the group
Coolest person
photo.
ever.
She just like is that girl.
She's the problem solver everywhere we go.
Absolutely.
At
She's
this-
the best thing to ever happen.
At Descendants premiere, let me tell you, she brought this special like light.
Oh, yes, this-
Have you seen the light thing that she
Like
has?
one that you can like, oh, you like put on a phone? Yeah.
It like connects via Bluetooth to the phone, and then when you take a picture, it's like a flash, like
Okay.
like a photographer flash.
Yeah.
But
the quality of the photos it produces
it
are
was incredible.
unbelievable.
crazy.
It was incredible.
Unbelievable.
Dang.
So good.
Save the
Wow.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, wait. You were in Mom.
Oh my God, yes.
Did you meet Allison Janney?
That's so funny. You know what's crazy about all of this? Some Alice and Janney lore. When I used to do this, I was a part of this play that was called I'm With Her, and it was like, and I was a young Hillary Clinton, like a young girl who wanted to be Hillary Clinton. And I was
Okay.
like, call me Hillary. And
Okay.
like,
Was it for
and
the
was
2016 election?
It was during her email scandals.
Oh my goodness.
And it was me, a child, like I was like 11 or 12.
Yeah.
And 5 adult women who sat down the entire time and read the emails at certain bits in between me talking for like, I shit you not, like 30 pages long, just my dialogue,
Oh my
other
God.
than these women reading the emails. And I was on the stage and I was in my navy blue suit doing this play. And at one point, I walked out. I like went to go get dressed and I got a text from my mom probably being like, Allison Janney is here. She just watched your play. You have to come outside. And I was like, oh my God. Changed faster than you probably could have ever imagined.
Yeah.
Ran outside. She had already left. And I was devastated because I'm obsessed with her.
Of course.
And then maybe a few years later when I had booked Mom, I went on set and I was like, oh my God, maybe I can talk to her and be like, I don't know if you remember that play that you saw like a million years ago with a tiny little infant. That was me. But I had gotten on there and her mother had passed away like the day before.
Oh,
and I was like, so much respect and love to you. I'm not going to talk to you because I don't think that's what you need right now. You don't need some random child who's here on one episode to like come up to you and be like, I love you. Sorry about your mom. Do you remember me? Like, that would have been insane.
Yeah.
So I don't think I really talked to her much at all, but I am such a big fan of her. I love her.
I mean,
She's so talented.
like true legend Allison Janney.
Oh, we
Absolutely.
love her.
Yes.
Where did you do this play? In LA?
It was in LA, yes.
Okay.
I want to say it was like a blank theater or something. Like I
like a
really
black
don't know.
box
Yeah, just like a
somewhere.
black box somewhere.
I thought the story was going in the direction that Allison Janney was in this play with you.
That would be even better, actually.
Yeah.
Allison Janney should have, I don't know what I was doing on that stage. It should have
Right.
been her.
I mean, how about 30 pages of dialogue? That's child
I remember
actress.
being a kid
Hashtag
being like,
child
this is
actress.
insane. But also all of it, throughout all of it, I was like cursing like a sailor. Like I was like, and I don't know. I was like, after all this shit. And there would be moments where I'd be like, my mom told me I could say that. Like, just like silly little things. And I remember being like 30 pages of dialogue of me having to memorize, me cursing when I like don't do that. I was a kid. I was so young. But I was like, this is so much. But at least I'm going to have a good damn time with it.
Yeah.
And I did.
We're watching Adolescence on Netflix,
Oh my
which is
gosh.
like this very dark, like limited series about this 13-year-old boy is accused of murder. But the whole thing about it is that it's all shot in one shot. That's like the big thing. It's like
It's
the
kind of-
entire.
Is it a
thing
movie?
No,
it's
it's a
4-episode limited series. So
And it's
every
all one
episode
shot.
Is one,
Is one
shot.
shot?
like
That's
continuous
insane.
one take, not like a camera trick where they switch it out and take it. Like it is all continuous.
It's crazy.
One
And I'm
take.
pulling it up
And-
next. That's
yeah.
awesome.
Oh yeah, but the whole reason I brought it up is this kid who's in it is like sitting there, like he's actually a child. He's like 12 or 13 years
Like his
old.
voice hasn't changed. Like
like
he's like a boy.
like
Oh,
a
boy,
boy,
yeah.
right? And he is like memorized the dialogue like for like 20-30 minutes on
Yeah,
end, just like
insane.
speaking, which is I'm like,
Insane.
how do you do
Crazy.
that? And you've done that. How did you do that as a kid? How'd you do it?
Honestly, memorizing has never been, I think I was just, born lucky with like a good like ability to memorize, but as long as I reread it a few times over, really like put in the effort of knowing what I'm reading and like being conscious of what words are going where when I speak, it's not too hard to attach all of that to my brain. And whether or not I have it like really, really down and word for word, I most definitely have like a decent enough gist.
Yeah.
And that's never the way that I'll work when I'm working. Like, I'm gonna have the words down, but like sometimes when I'm just getting there, I'm like, as long as I'm following some type of path. Because also so much of the time I just feel like it's fun to add a little ad lib in an audition or not, because they know it doesn't belong there. And I'm like, so if you like it, you can like it. If you don't, then I'll stop. Just tell me to.
That's interesting. That's a great choice to make. That probably helps you stand out from other
Yeah, I
people.
mean, that's all I ever think to try to do at the end of the day. I'm like, you know, you're seeing the same thing over and over again. If I can like subconsciously, you know, make some choice that's going to be something that will make you like, oh, I haven't seen anyone make that choice. Like, even if it's like not good, because I'm sure it's not sometimes, you guys. But like, you know, it just puts a little pin in their mind of like, that was interesting. And that's all I
Well,
really need at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It is good because you book.
Stop
Curda
it.
She's booked and blessed,
Stop,
honey.
Guys, I try my best. I'm just a lucky gal. I've definitely had the most insane, just like, time of my life ever since High School Musical ended, because there really was somehow some crazy era of I was always out of LA. I was always filming something.
Yes,
Nothing
and
was
the
filming in
CW
LA.
show.
I went straight to the CW show. I went straight to Walker, Texas Ranger, not about zombies. All of my friends think that it is.
Okay.
So funny.
But that's
And-
not. It had Jared Padalecki in it, but it was not related to Supernatural.
It was not related
Different
to Supernatural.
show. Because there was
Different show,
another show that was related to Supernatural,
which was, oh God,
called like the Winchester. or something.
yes, the Winchesters. Yes,
But
yes,
that
yes,
was a
yes,
different
yes.
show.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
That was a completely different show. But yes, Jared Padalecki, he is just as tall, just as handsome as you'd think in real life. Love that man. He like would greet me hello with like a kiss on my cheek, and I'd be like, did you say hi to me again today? I don't think you gave me a hug. Wait, Jared, it's so good to see you.
Wait, say hi
Jared.
to me again. Jared.
so
Say hi to me
funny.
one more
to
time.
see you.
Wait, did you have to
He's
shoot
the
that
most
in like the
awesome dude.
desert? that?
Well, we were in Texas.
You were in Texas?
Yeah, we were in Texas, which I learned to love a lot because I had to be there for, you know, kind of a long time.
Yes. I get it.
Austin was a good city to be in.
Okay, you were in
the
Austin, at
first
least.
time I landed down there, which was like literally January, the month after we wrapped season 4, the month after I flew to Texas for Walker, and it had snowed. And it was like the first time in years that it had snowed in Texas.
It was then?
Yes.
It was the
The snowstorm.
snowstorm?
And
Yeah.
everything in
Oh,
Texas
girl.
shut down. And me being
Yeah.
from Chicago, I like was driving in the snow, like trying to get around, and I was like, why is everything shut down? And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to the movies. And I go to the movies, and the movie theaters are like, we couldn't get to work today, like call if you need anything urgent, we'll be open maybe when the snow's over.
They don't know
I'm
how
like,
to do it.
Oh,
okay,
they don't
but
know how to do it.
Could you imagine if it snowed in LA?
Oh yeah, no. I
It
mean,
would be
people would just go berserk.
disaster.
People would go
It would
bonkers.
be
People don't know what to
chaos.
do in the rain.
Yeah, exactly. It would
yeah.
be it would be 20 times worse than that.
So funny. So funny.
Where's your like favorite place that you've lived? Because you've lived a lot of places.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Utah,
man.
Texas.
Oh my gosh,
New York,
yeah.
New York, Chicago.
Guys,
Florida?
I'm such Florida. I'm such a lover of the cities. Like Chicago and New York are my favorite places to be, no doubt. When it comes to like work, I was living in Toronto for like 4 months for one of the last things that I did, and I was obsessed with Toronto.
Okay,
I
cool.
loved it there. It was so nice. It was so pretty. There was a park on every single corner.
love
Like,
that.
and it was just like so pleasant. It reminded me of Chicago. The architecture was just like so random. I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, I mean, I just had such a great experience like during the times that I was working in Toronto too, that all of it was just so lovely. So nice.
I feel like Toronto is like a less expensive New York. Like people,
yeah.
people use it as like a New York stand-in
Yeah.
a lot for like filming stuff, and it's all. And
Oh yeah, because everything is just so much easier there, really.
Yeah.
Like we maybe I don't know. I did this show called Twisted Metal in Toronto.
Okay.
I was a part of the second season. I wasn't a part of the first, and the first was in New Orleans.
Okay.
But we were in Toronto, and I do think there is a very like fantastic element of the show that would not have been able to be produced the same way that it was because it was done in Toronto.
Okay.
Which makes it all the more special because in watching it and in just like experiencing it, it's everything that it needs to be, you know. Guys,
Yeah.
can you tell that I'm really stoked about this show that I was on that's coming out this year? Literally,
And you're being discreet. I know you're doing your job. You're doing your job. You're keeping.
She's
things-
got her
I
media
am doing
training
my
on,
job.
Shout out
honey.
to Toronto. That's really what this is about.
But shout out to Toronto. Shout out to Twisted Metal. It's going to be a beautiful second season.
what network is that on?
That's on Peacock.
Okay, Peacock.
Okay.
Which is now has Wicked. Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was
Universal.
like, I can't. Oh, yeah, you're so right.
When was the last time you went to Disneyland? Did you ever go like with Disney?
Yes.
Yeah, we went together. We
The-
went together.
I
We did.
think the last time I went was during D23.
Yeah, we did. We went
Which
together.
is
That
kind
was
of
fun.
insane.
That was a fun day. That was one of the. I went like maybe 2 more times after that, but it's been like almost 2 years since I've
Yeah.
been there. But let
I've
me tell you,
been-
going with the Disney people is really fun.
I mean, yeah. I mean, going with a guide, like, come on now. Like, nothing
know.
beats that.
I know.
What do you
And
mean?
that was like I knew when we were doing that one, like when we went in 2022 after that big D23 performance. Well, first of all, I knew it would probably be like the last time we were at D23, like
Yeah.
because we got to do it twice, and that was like before season 4, and I was like, okay, this is probably going to be the last time. And then I also was like, that's probably going to be the last time for a long time that I get to go to Disney with a guide, unless we were all able to get together as a cast and be like, we want to go to Disneyland.
Yeah.
Then they would give us a guide.
Tim, I'm calling you
I know.
now. Tim
I know.
Federley.
And we know he listens.
That's so funny.
And we know he listens, so he's got to organize that.
I mean, guys, could you even get the cast together? Because goddamn, everyone's
Everyone
doing
is
their
all over
crazy
the place.
shit. I've never been more disgusted and disappointed with myself than the fact that I have not seen the Julia Lester in New York right now on her
I
show.
an all-nighter.
It actually makes me hate myself a little
I
bit.
agree. This
I
is
need
like-
to go.
This is like the first thing that she's doing in New York that I'm like missing.
Me too.
I saw Into the Woods.
I saw Into the Woods 6 times.
Oh my God.
I lived in LA the entire time.
And you would fly
And
back
from its premiere at City Center, because I went to the premiere at City Center, I went to the opening night on Broadway, and then I went to,
4 more times.
4 more times. Guys, I went 6 times.
But wasn't your brother on Broadway at the time, too? K-pop.
Yeah, was that at the
Not me
same
knowing
time?
your brother's.
You
brother.
just
that at the
you,
same
you don't
time?
even
I don't-
care.
I don't
It's
even-
Julia Lester's on
Was it-
Broadway, honey.
No.
Was it- I don't know.
Different
Maybe-
times, different times,
times.
because it was in between season 3 and 4 that Julia was on Broadway.
Right.
And it was after season 4 that my brother was on Broadway.
Okay. All right. So you
Um,
just went for Julia.
Oh
That's
yeah,
fierce.
every single time.
I
How
love
could I
that.
not? How could I not have you guys? Like it's
Yeah.
the same way of like Joe posts that he's gonna do some home Pittsburgh show where he's just gonna like
Oh,
sing
yeah.
a few songs. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, so I'm booking a flight. Because
Did you go to Pittsburgh for?
Yeah, I went for his Christmas show.
Oh my God.
Because guys,
That is
like
dedication.
I'm given this beautiful opportunity of like one of my insanely talented friends is going to bless other human beings with their voice for a little bit. How can I sit there and make the conscious decision of like, yeah, I've been there, heard that. No, like it's new every time. Like hearing Joe, hearing Julia, hearing Dara, hearing Adrian, like every single time, just their voices, like their talent, like it's just so unmatched. Like it's not something to experience once. Like that's what's so special about like
God.
this
Whoa.
High School Musical cast.
Yes.
You all are exactly who the fuck you are, which is phenomenal because you
Of
all
course.
literally are so insane and deserve so much that I can't believe that I get to actively watch you guys getting there. Like it's the coolest thing ever to me.
Well,
Ever.
we will let you know when we're doing this live show
Yes.
for the
Yeah.
podcast.
Just about
If
that
you're not
live.
in that audience,
I
I'm
will
gonna
be in
clock
that
it.
audience. I will be in that audience, me screaming my head off. I once was in an audience for like a live podcast, and
Oh.
it was like for this a friend of mine who was in Twisted Metal, and it was a lot of super niche jokes that I didn't understand, and I thought it was so fun anyway, though, and I just laughed at everything that other people laughed at. It's great.
We got to get her there.
It
We
was
got to get her
awesome.
there. No, it's real. Well, I want to say before we leave, I think, you really have done some amazing things so far in your life. Especially like, obviously, we know Ashlyn got the better end of the stick going to Maddox over there.
Good. Big red slander that's happening on this
Listen, I
podcast.
Very
really
clear.
did come for your girl, I'll be honest.
And
Maddox was not shy.
and
What?
like, who can blame you? Like, let's
I
be real.
mean-
There should have been at least one Maddox and Big Red scene where it was like awkward and we
You're
had to
so
figure
right.
it out. They
we
never
should have just
did
been
that.
standing there side by side, like looking in love with Julia.
I know.
Hey.
I know. I know.
you-
Why
I'm
didn't we do
guessing-
that? Why
Yeah.
didn't we do that?
Yeah, but
They never made it awkward between us. Which
Yeah.
I think
I only got to like watch you and Ashlyn and be like, wish it was that should be me holding your hand. Like when you show up at camp and
Yeah.
you're like, I'm Ashlyn's boyfriend, and I'm standing there and I'm like, like, or like when I'm standing like holding JoJo Siwa's hand at prom and Ashlyn's like, we've heard so much about you, and it's just us having like our little random moments of being
JoJo Siwa.
so gay for each other.
that is hilarious. Well, you have done incredible things. I want to know what's next. What do you want to do?
Yeah.
What do you want to do
guys.
next?
Some actually really exciting things. Like, I just want to branch out. I just want to find the next like fun, challenging, like freeing thing to do. I just love working and getting lost in work, and I could care less what it is. Like when I feel it, I'm in it. And so anything under the sun that I'm really coming across, I'm just like, that'd be so cool to try. Like in sometime this year, which is actually so exciting for me personally, I am going to narrate a book.
Oh my god!
Is that the way that I do it? Like, I'm
Audiobook.
gonna be the narrator of an audiobook for a Lynn Painter book, and
Okay.
she is a young artist, novelist, and she writes these like phenomenal, like the most phenomenal, like classic, like rom-com, like girl falls first, boy falls harder type stuff. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
just the quintessential, like, oh my god, when I was 17, like I inhaled all of it, you know.
We
And
gotta
it's
get her
super.
to do my book.
Yeah.
Oh, your book.
Jacob has a gay YA
Novel.
romance
Shut
book.
up.
Yeah,
I'm obsessed with that.
We'll get you on
Okay,
board.
yes, please. But it's super dope because I've been friends with her for a while, and she reached out and was like, I'm writing this new book and I have this character and I thought that you should voice it, and when I thought that, I couldn't unthink it, so will you do it? And I was like, girl, yeah, like, yes, sign me up. Are you kidding? It's like something that I never in my life would have even thought, like, let me call up my agent and tell him that I want to get into like audiobook narration. Like,
Yeah.
I never would have thought of that for myself, but being given this opportunity, like, I feel so lucky for it, and I'm so excited to get on that train. And also, low-key, what's coming down the bat? Music.
Ooh.
Yes, I was gonna say, are you doing music?
I am doing music, and I'm trying really hard to have some stuff released this year.
Okay.
Whether I am prepared enough for that to really be the case of what's happening, who knows? But I definitely want to start like being more open about it and like sharing more. Like, not a lot of people actually really know that I do music just because I never did. So I always was like, oh, I don't call myself a singer. I don't, you know.
But you have
I-
a beautiful voice. And don't you play guitar?
I do play guitar. I did
mean-
play Shallow Lake in season 3. That was all me
You're
and
the
my
full
learning
package.
abilities.
The full package.
Yeah, and I've been in sessions for like over a year now, and I like have some stuff that I'm just really, you know, proud of and happy about. And I feel like even if, you know, at the end of the day everything crashes and burns, it's just like music was something that I really have loved my whole life.
Yeah.
And it's never been quite prevalent enough to take like the front burner, but I want to let it for a little bit,
Of
and I want to
course.
see what comes of that. And whether it's something nice or not, it just kind of matters of, you know, how I'm feeling about it. And I just
Yeah.
want to feel like, you know, I want to feel like I've done what I could and like feel fulfilled in what I'm putting out. And and everything like that. So I'm really excited about that next step. It's super horrifying, but I'm also
You're
gonna
gonna be great.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna try and like tease more things and like put more things out there for people
my
to
God.
know
That's
what's
amazing.
Well,
gonna
I
go
can't
on,
wait.
baby.
I cannot wait.
Honestly, if you're looking for like reference examples of like how to tease stuff out, who's doing it great now is Kylie Cantrell.
Yes,
Yes.
She's doing a
You're
great
so right.
job of like
Truly.
teasing stuff out.
I don't like my. I wish though, like I had the songs that she had, because you listen
a
to
pop diva.
one sentence and you're like, oh, sing me the rest.
She's a pop diva.
There's
It's
no way
happening.
you're listening to the start of Kylie Cantrell's song and not hearing the end of it. Like you're going to.
yeah.
That is a great quote. You should sell that quote to her.
Hey guys, so I'm gonna
For-
put it on a
for her.
T-shirt.
Yeah.
That will be $9.99.99.
yeah.
Well,
$99.99.
if the people want to follow your music journey, if they don't already know
If
where
they
to
don't
find
already.
you, where do they find you?
They
Saylor Bell Curda.
they find me everywhere. I'm gonna be under your bed actually. No, I'm kidding. You can find me. I mean, all my social media is pretty much Say Curda, SAYCURDA. It's my name. Don't
And
wear
you're
it
posting
out.
those TikToks. You're posting those TikToks
I'm
with
posting those
Sophia
Oh,
Wiley
you're-
that are
you're-
going viral.
Oh my gosh.
TikTok queen over here.
Yeah.
Well, Soph came over for a weekend and it was like the most encouraged I ever felt like to make TikToks again. It's so funny. We have this instinct in our bones because we did it so much when we like met during season 3 of like
Yeah.
when we see each other again, we kind of will always be like,
What TikTok?
should we do a TikTok? Should we film a TikTok, Sophia? Should we? Saylor, come on, let's do a TikTok. Like, it's so funny. It's really like a bone in my body when she's around me. It's so funny.
I love it.
That's silly.
She's our next guest that we got to get.
yes! Oh my
But
god.
she's never in LA.
It's
which
true.
makes it hard. But
Whenever
we're
she's
working on
here,
it.
we're
You're
working
right.
on it, people. Okay.
I'm definitely taking a little 6-hour road trip out to Arizona to see her within the coming month.
I
So,
love it.
Very
That's amazing.
exciting.
Yeah. Well, listen, we've checked off a huge box today because people have been asking for
This is
you.
true.
That's so funny to me.
and
It's true.
you are here.
That
we have
makes my heart
delivered.
Yes.
I'm so
So
happy.
if you want to watch these clips with Saylor Curda,
Yeah.
you can check us out on TikTok and Instagram at Let's Talk About That Pod.
That's
Let's
right.
talk about that pod.
Yeah, and if you're listening, you can watch it too. You can see Sailor's amazingly gorgeous face and
Yeah.
our, old gay faces. And that's at Let's Talk About That Pod as well.
On YouTube.
That's what yeah.
And if you want to, send us some fan mail or an email.
We do
if
like
it's
fan
a
mail. It's
business
nice when people
inquiry,
write.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can email us at Let's Talk About That Pod at gmail.com.
That's all our plugs. Anything else we can plug for you? You have the show coming out,
Yes.
but we can't
I
say
mean, the
anything
show
more
is
about
like
that.
the main thing. Like, I have some, like, it's just, it's silly.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Great.
Well, follow
We're
Saylor
chilling.
Curda for updates.
Yeah, there you go.
Very exciting.
And we'll see you next week.
Yeah, that's right.
Who's next week? Is it a secret?
Next week will be just us.
Yeah.
And then we'll have
Oh,
a
I
very...
see.
We go
Wait.
back and forth.
You are the second to last guest of the season.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Really? Oh, I'm
Mhm.
honored.
This is
Okay.
episode 47 of the
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
47?
Yeah.
47 episodes.
Y'all have been on your shit.
Yeah.
Damn, congratulations.
A year. We're a
Almost
year
a year.
in, basically.
Yeah, amazing.
every week for a year. Crazy.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, anyway, so we'll see you next. And hey, some people have been here for every single week for
That's
a year,
right.
which is amazing.
That's right. Thank
So,
you for listening
thank you
and
guys
watching.
for being here every week.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next week on
Let's talk about that.
Bye.
Ooh.